Guys, welcome back. It is Racer X, and today is actually like a 15-degree day here in Dallas, Texas, believe it or not. This never happens here. And as you can see, it is a snowy winter wonderland out here. So, I'm going to run 60 to 130. No, I'm actually not going to do that today. All three cars are going to stay in the driveway because I do not want to be on the news for the wrong reasons. But what I do want to do today is actually put a little video together for you, something you guys have been asking me for quite a while. It's actually, should we as Mopar owners be scared of our vehicles being stolen? There's a lot of things happening out there in the news, in the media with Mopars. There are certain cities out there where I see a lot of activity happening. So I want to break everything down for you, kind of give you my assessment on if we as Mopar owners should be scared out there, or maybe some things that we can do so that we can protect ourselves a little bit. So it should be a good one. Also, guys, if you are new to my channel, do me a huge favor, hit that subscribe button for me. I have all sorts of fun stuff coming up this year for you. And here we go. We got the 1,000 horsepower HELLCAT. God. Now, it isn't always my favorite thing to do to kind of hide in my office and film stuff like this, but unfortunately, with the weather being what it is, kind of had to, make do. But I do want to kind of address a couple of quick things, right? So many people, hey, Racer X, can you talk about all of the problems people are having out there right now with their cars being stolen and just the different issues that are facing Mopar owners out there right now? Well, there are a couple of things that are happening. So I did some research for you guys, and I just wanted to kind of put it out there, put my thoughts out there about maybe, why some of the theft is happening out there. Is it really a problem? And what do we do about it? So the truth is that when you own a nice car, it is automatically sort of a target for thieves, right? I mean, thieves are going to go after the more expensive things. That's just part of life. But for some odd reason, there seems to be this shifting culture when it comes to either Hellcats or SRT, the 392 cars, even the Hemi cars, the Chargers, the Challengers. You're seeing it on really a lot of the upper end trims on the, really any of the Mopars. And I just, that fascinates me. As I do some research online here, I'm seeing that, these cars are not really making the top 10 list of the most stolen cars. But as I dig into things a little bit further, I am seeing that when you talk about how many of these cars are actually made, so you're going to have things like the Accord and stuff that they make a zillion of, they sell a zillion of, and it only makes sense that those cars would be sort of towards the top of the list, right? F-150s, they sell a zillion of them. But when you talk about Chargers and Challengers, the number that are either targeted or actually being stolen compared to how many are actually made is actually very, very high. I want to show you just a real quick clip I found of the news, a news station in Detroit, and see what you think.
The cars are powerful, fast, loud. Yes, the Charger and Challenger HELLCAT can make a guy seeking big RPMs drool. Apparently, thieves do too.
The whole vehicle theft claim rates for these vehicles are more than 5 times the all-vehicle average.
The folks over at Highway Loss Data Institute say the two modern-day hot rods are far and above the two most commonly stolen vehicles as well.
So if you own an upper level trim, a Hellcat, an SRT, a 392, a Scat Pack, even an RT, should you be worried that somebody's going to just show up in your driveway or, bust into your garage and take off with your car? Well, I don't want to necessarily say that. I don't want to spread, panic out there among my fellow Mopar owners, because I don't necessarily think that is a pertinent thing to do. What I do want to spread is a little bit of awareness about some of the dangers of the cars, and like I said, some stuff that you might be able to do to kind of give yourself less of a chance of being a target. Now, as I do some research, I'm seeing that the activity, the theft activity, seems to be a lot higher in specific cities. Me being in Dallas, I haven't seen a whole lot of these cars being stolen. It does happen. I am seeing some of it, but it seems to be a lot worse in specific cities. I'm seeing like Detroit, Atlanta, LA, Charlotte. These are hot spots for cars being taken. So if you happen to live in some of those areas, you definitely want to pay attention, or at least be diligent about where you leave your car, and maybe take some precaution. I think a lot of it started back quite some time ago when there was that big police chase kind of in Houston. It was a car that got stolen. It was a white HELLCAT Challenger. I'll actually put the video clip up there. But a lot of you guys have seen this clip. This guy took police on a long chase in Houston at super high speed, and helicopters following him and everything like that. And I think that kind of just put this whole sort of issue on the map, and things seem to be getting worse and worse. And I don't know if it's just, like I said, I think it might be just a cultural thing. Another thing that I'm seeing also is a lot of videos, and you're seeing some of this stuff on YouTube right now, of people going out doing absolutely crazy or stupid things and then running from the police, which I absolutely do not condone. I can't quite understand that. But what that is doing is kind of giving a lot of the Mopar owners sort of a bad look. And I hate to say that, but that seems to be the case right now. So obviously running from the police and going out there and acting a fool is not really an ideal thing, really, for any Mopar owner, because then, of course, I think it makes all of us a little bit more of a target. I actually have another clip out there of a Jeep Trackhawk owner. This one really caught me off guard. And right in essentially the middle of the day, this guy, he was I believe a retired firefighter, went up to get in his vehicle. And guys literally pulled up right behind him, jumped out, and they had a shootout. The man actually had a gun with him, and he actually managed to hit one of the assailants. But in the process, he was actually hit twice in the chest, and he passed away, which is just an awful, awful tragedy, especially over a car. He was protecting something that he had worked very hard after. I had very mixed emotions about it. A lot of times it's easy to say, well, it's just a car, right? But I mean, when you've worked your entire life to save up for something that means a lot to you, it's hard not to want to protect that. So I get it to a degree. And it is just a really sad situation that's happening out there. And things like this are actually happening out there on a regular basis. It's actually quite sad. So where does this culture sort of come from? As I mentioned, a lot of it I think is just sort of this shifting culture in the car community, and the general consensus around Dodge owners. I really don't know. But when I kind of think about it, I think, you know what, Dodge kind of markets themselves this way to a degree. It's the only car company I can think of that just encourages big long burnouts and high horsepower. And while there's something cool about that, obviously being a car guy, I think there's something cool about that. But by the same token, I think sometimes it can attract the wrong type of attention from all sorts of people, police and criminals, and just a litany of different people. So what is really the end result here? Because it puts us all in a bit of a weird place, just mentally, right? I mean, should we be scared to go out and buy our dream car, or the car we've always wanted, because we're afraid somebody's just going to steal it? That's an absolutely terrible position to be in. It just doesn't seem fair. But I think, the only thing we can really do is just be diligent about some of the things that we do with our vehicle and take the necessary precautions as best we possibly can. So the thieves have really gotten very creative with how they steal these cars, because I don't necessarily think they're the easiest cars in the world to steal, but I've seen footage of people basically kind of pushing their way through the sunroof. I've seen people figuring out a way to kind of cut the back window and get into the cars that way. I've seen, broad daylight. I've seen people at night doing stuff. I mean, lots of different clips on the internet. You guys can literally go there and find them. I'm putting some of them up here in my video. So what can we do, right? I mean, so I'm kind of thinking about the different options for you if you're in a place that's kind of a hot spot for Mopars to be taken. Obviously, the ideal situation is if you have a garage to put the car in. I think that solves a lot of your problem. Not necessarily 100%, but certainly, it does help. And that's not necessarily an option for everybody. But certainly, when it just comes to the wheels, make sure you have wheel locks on your car. If you can park in a well-lit area, that might help to some degree, at least the more passive thieves out there. Certainly somebody that is intent will not care, as we've seen on some of the video clips. If you've got an alarm system, certainly that can help things. That might deter somebody who is kind of passive or semi-passive to a degree. Or the pros, it's really hard to stop those guys. Certainly, the other thing is to make sure you have some sort of a device in the car. I mean, they've got them right there. You've got the club and you've got some other stuff to make it harder for these guys. But if they're really intent, Once again, those may not deter them either. The other thing is you can get like a GPS type system. They do have several different ones online that you can try out. They've got ones that are active, they've got ones that are passive, but you can definitely get some sort of a vehicle tracker in the event that somebody does take your car. Hopefully you can at least get it back and help the police to get that vehicle back. So we are in a little bit of a weird spot. Until I did more research on this, I really didn't think it was a very big problem. But as I start to really look into this, as I dig in and look at the root cause between, like I said, the shifting car cultures and what's happening in some of these other cities, it is a problem. So I never want to tell somebody, hey, look, don't go out and buy your dream car or the car that you really want because it's just going to get stolen. Because that's the wrong message to send. And I don't want to spread mass panic around everybody out there either, as I mentioned. That's just not the right thing to do, and I don't think that's necessary at this point. But you really should take all of the proper precautions. I listed a couple of them here. Certainly do everything you can not to make your car a target or keep your car safe. And at the end of the day, if something does happen to your car, please remember that it's a car, right? It's replaceable. People are not. And I do care about each and every one of you guys watching this video. So at any rate, guys, it's been a fun one. Please let me know what you think about all this in your comments down below, and I will catch you on the next one. So until then, Racer X.